Pod in the City is a Sex in the City podcast and thus contains adult themes and explicit content. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Pod in the City. I'm Amanda.
And I'm John.
We're two besties who bonded over Sex in the City in college.
And now, 20 years later, we're reliving it like it's our very first time. And just like that, season 2, episode 8. 100 years ago. Why? Okay, Carrie and Aiden enjoy their days as a couple. Seema feels uncomfortable and keeps her distance. And Miranda and Charlotte face difficulties on their new jobs.
Oh, spicy.
I'd say this episode is kind of boring.
But Carrie was really annoying in it, at least.
Carrie was back to her old ways, incredibly annoying. In fact, it started to piss me off. It actually pissed me off because I'm assuming
50 and you're that girl. 56. What is she? 55? And she's that girl still.
Well, I'm assuming that they're going to now retcon everything and try and act like her entire time and relationship with Big was an utter mistake because that's what they kept.
Isn't that egregious? It's like, girl.
That's what you're gonna say about that to like your friends, to the man. You're like, maybe Big was a big mistake.
Well, because that's what Aiden needed to hear. But it's like,
but she said it to Miranda,
and then Miranda kind of, I feel like. Honestly, at that point, and now the man has died, and you like didn't call 911. At this point, you have to be, even if it's totally true that she made a mistake, which I don't think she did actually. She was way more suited for Big. But Miranda should have been like, "No, Carrie, you can't tell yourself that. Big was the love of your life." Like, although he was shady, she found out all these secrets afterwards. So I don't know.
She did, but I would also be like,
Aiden,
I think a good friend would be like, "Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself."
Yeah, don't do that because there's literally nothing she can do about it. Yeah.
What is the point? Anyway, guys, we decided to jump right on in. Hi, it's Pod in the City. I'm Joan Amanada here. We're hanging, enjoying ourselves. A few things I want to point out. If you are watching us on YouTube, hit subscribe, hit like, please. We're begging you. We're getting so close. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. It is challenging because, we do continue to get 1-star reviews, which fine.
Where?
But
don't even tell me.
I do want to feature a wonderful listener who wrote us a lovely review that Amanda's going to be like, I don't want to hear this at all.
No, I'll hear it if it's nice. Where is this review?
This is on iTunes.
Oh, that's the big time.
It says, great show. This is by Living Phil. 5 stars. Now, this part shook me. Now, I don't know if this was truly written by this type of person or maybe their girlfriend got on here and was like, hey, I got to give an extra review to these people because they keep bitching about it. Here's what it says. As a straight man, should I use my...
Yeah, use your straight man words. I'd love to hear it.
As a straight man who has to watch Sex in the City and just like that, anytime my wife and sister-in-law get together, I am so glad to listen to this show and have my views of these respective shows' greatness and atrociousness reaffirmed by people who are not me. Cannot recommend this show enough for everyone who has even heard of these shows. Thank you, Phil. You're my new love of my life. I love you, Phil. Thanks, babe. It did feel like it was written by a straight man, so I'll believe it.
Oh, well, I love that.
Hey, and
shocking.
I say for the holiday season, guys, recommend our podcast to a straight man Sometimes they trust me. Straight men ask me more questions about gay sex than anyone else I know. So
because they want to do it a little. They want to do it.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think so.
Another thing.
Wait, hold on. I was at Co-op today and I walked by on top of the cans, the sleeve cans.
Was it a cat?
Cans. And right in the middle, someone had put back in a package a wooden I think it was like a juicer.
Dildo?
But I think it was a juicer,
Oh, like a
right?
reamer. I think, yeah.
Yeah,
Like, I know what
but
you're
I
talking
was
about. They're like,
like, I'm like, did
look like a
someone make
butt
it?
plug.
Someone, yeah, it like clearly looked like it was shaped and it was wooden. And I was just like, interesting. I'm like, I feel like it's a 50-50 on what that was purchased for like intended use or for butt play. And they decided against it. They picked up some cranberry ginger ale.
See, I would think you'd go more for a cucumber. Now, I often, when I'm at the grocery store, I will eat like a whole cucumber. Okay. I'll like cut it up, love it. Okay. But I go to the store and I'll buy like 3 cucumbers, 3 of those like big English cucumbers, like they're like really big, I feel. And I do feel sometimes like I'm on display, like everyone's watching me.
I would never think that ever.
I mean, that
I
is
would
one of
never
my
think
anxieties is
Yeah.
that everyone's watching my every move. But anyway, you guys are here actually watching and listening to our every move. So if you like us, if you like listening to our voice, and also this week is a big week because if you like
Hell
Wicked,
yeah.
if you like Wicked, Henny, and if you watched the Wicked movie, or if you haven't watched the Wicked movie, we're getting down to it. We're going to go through the whole freaking thing, all spoilers, all of it. And that's over on our Patreon. So that is patreon.com/podnacity. If you only listen over here, and I just thought of this, maybe some people don't know what Patreon is. If you're a new person, it's a place where you can go support the people that you love listening to. It's a great thing. You can go over there, $6 a month. You can listen to our Wicked movie special that's coming out this week. And you can listen back to all of our other episodes. We have, we go over Golden Girls,
Broad City.
We did 3 episodes of Designing Women at one point. And we do our Pillow Talk episodes too, which are just us talking. And so if you like us, if you like our voices, all that, give it a try.
Or join our YouTube channel. You can even do blind support for $1 a month.
Yeah.
And it all adds up handy. And you can, all those videos are also on the YouTube channel for the same price that it is.
And please, actually, go back and watch our weekly roundup from Halloween, because if you couldn't tell, these 2 beauties on the cover, I mean, I don't know who those people are. Anyway, every week we also do a weekly roundup, which is like a gossip, like talk show kind of thing. But it's not really a talk show because it's just the 2 of us talking shit.
Oops, sorry. All right, well, great.
Amanda does not like photos up very long. Anyway, guys, on this episode, I thought this episode was generally boring and annoying.
I need to read social cues and lips, okay?
I found this episode poo-poo.
Did you?
I will say though, the part when Giuseppe had a boner, like, could you see he had a boner?
Can I like look away? Damn it! Can somebody give me a timestamp on this boner?
It was weird. It was the part. Spoiler alert, guys, for later in the episode where Giuseppe professes his love for like Anthony, I guess. And he has a boner in that scene, but it's not like featured at all. But he's like,
wait, hang on, I'm going to it now. Is this when he is doing the ghost thing?
No, it's the later one where he's gonna kiss. He's like he's near the counter. He's like inside profile, and you can see that like it looks like he has a boner, like it's pointing up the top like way.
Oh my God.
Right?
Okay, well, I'm gonna find it. I'm not commercials. I'm sorry. I
think that they were gonna maybe do a joke about that, but they must have skipped the joke, because then I was like,
that's kind of hotter though. That they don't like acknowledge.
He just had his big boner.
I kind of like that, because you know what? There is a joke in here that I was like, oh, I like that reference, and then they immediately explain it, and I was like, oh, you think the audience is all fucking stupid?
Well, the unfortunate thing I'm noticing is this is episode 8. I believe there are 11 episodes or 12? So we have 4 more to go.
I think there's only 10, isn't there?
I think there's 12.
Okay.
I think I looked it up. And to Anthony getting fucked in the butt by Giuseppe.
Last moment. One of the last moments.
He's like,
he's like, ah.
He's like, that's my line. Oh my God. Anyway, guys.
Check
I
out
was
Wicked
bubbling to do the Wicked movie special. So
By the way, guys, on Patreon, you can listen to 5-minute previews. That's like a new thing. So you can go listen to that with your guys if you want.
Check it out, though. If you're going to sign up, go to patreon.com. Don't go through the App Store because they charge you extra.
They put a tariff on the Patreon feed.
Don't get me started.
Isn't that so surprising how that happened? That was really surprising, huh?
I'm
that
shocked
didn't work out the
that,
way
like,
everyone thought.
there's a lot of people who are surprised that, stuff like that's happening. But,
That's crazy.
When someone says they're going to do something,
yeah,
you should maybe believe them. Anyway, we start off this episode with Carrie and Aiden are in bliss together. It's been days. And they're in this hotel that we've decided that they're going to be staying in hotels.
Are you leading this? I thought I was leading this.
I thought I was.
Oh, great.
Oh, no.
Because you were definitely in lead mode. And I was like, I'll sit right back. No, go for it.
Wait, did I lead last time?
You got, I remember specifically that you had Bomb Cyclone. Was Bomb Cyclone only last week?
No. See, I think you were.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
I think you did lead last time.
It was anyway, so forgettable.
You can chime in anytime you want here because some of my notes are like they're in a hotel together. His hair was giving Cody vibes in this.
Oh,
like a straightened. Aiden was giving a straightened Cody Brown vibe in the hair because there's points when he's like laying on top of Carrie and they're like in bed and like snuggling, and he has the which I mean I do as. What are those?
Widow's Peak.
I wouldn't call it a widow's peak. I'd say a
very
deep receding hairline with just like the strip in the middle. So his bangs were like, his hair was like hanging here, like in some straggles. Yeah. It gives me also riffraff vibes, which weirdly they also reference.
That was the joke later that they explain after they didn't fucking need to.
Oh yeah, I was like enjoying that when I thought it was that, and then you're right.
Yeah. Like, because why can't you just let it have jokes for only a few people? What happened to that kind of comedy?
I think they're trying. They do have a few rounds in here where they have added jokes that are only for a few people. Because honey, I didn't laugh at all.
Okay, so they're not for us then.
There's some jokes in here that I was like,
target audience.
Okay.
We are literally their target audience. We're like music theater people that grew up in the early 2000s watching this. You're gay.
Yes.
I'm like,
you're a woman.
I'm a mess. Yeah, I'm a woman.
Like, come on.
Fashion.
We should be
the show
exactly.
Religiously. Yes, their demographic.
They need to. I know they've already filmed season 3. If for some reason we get a season 4. Hey guys, I know we've talked shit about it. MPK out there, call us in, babe. I truly believe that you and I could have like a 2-hour talk session and fix your entire show, honestly. Yeah. No, not to be mean.
We could write specific episodes. I could write dialogue and it would sound like old Sex in the City. That's how obsessed we are with it.
Could fix this shit so easily. One way, sweetie, speed up your show. Cut it. That'd be my first note. Minutes. Go like, back to 28-minute episodes.
Remember that one episode where they cut out the Charlotte like Buddhism storyline or something? And it was like only 23 minutes and we were like, this episode is a fucking dream.
Like, this one clipped along, baby. I love it.
Okay, I want to talk about this situation that Carrie's in here. Now, this is ideal, this situation. How ideal is this? So you have the guy that probably is the love of your life. He treated you better, but you wanted the one that you couldn't get. So you got to marry big. You got to have the hot affair. The guy still takes you back. You get to marry the guy you wanted. He's rich. Aiden's also somehow rich. But then he dies. So it's not even like you're cheating on him. He died. You're free. And now you get to be back with the guy that you should have ended up with. And you didn't have to have kids with him or anything. This is fucking ideal. This is mint.
But that's why Carrie's kind of insufferable in this.
Yes.
Because like,
why are you
she's making drama. She's like making it more than it needs to be and then bringing, but I mean, it is a TV show, I guess.
I don't know anything about that based on my breakup.
So anyway, they're like, we're going to order room service. We're going to get $26 omelets. And there's like I guess is a cute moment. Aiden's on the phone and he's like kind of like sucking it in, I would say, like flexing to try
Oh,
and like look
they know
hot.
what they're doing. Like, this was hot.
And
I
she's
don't
like,
like that
"Are you
Carrie put her feet in his face. That was
I don't
fucking disgusting.
I don't
I've been
find
in
him
love with
that
a couple
hot."
people, like madly in love, and I don't want their fucking feet in my face. In the morning after we've slept, also, maybe straight out of the shower, you can put your foot like kind of near me while we're
He
having
might
sex.
have a foot fetish though, like Jax.
Oh, maybe. And Carrie has nice feet, shoes.
I'm
Okay.
sure her feet smell like fucking roses. Now, shoving mine in your mouth in the morning probably isn't.
But don't you feel like this is a really like nice headspace, like, because you get to be, I feel like this is the most intimate you can be with someone, because you like you know that you appreciate each other more
Yeah.
because you've lost each other, now you come back. I'm like I so covet that
Mhm.
feeling. It's always kind of dangerous too, because it's like maybe this is a really bad idea, except in this case nothing can really go wrong. But or it's like when you hook up with your ex after like
Yeah.
a few months and you know it's a bad idea, but then you always get back together for a couple months and then it doesn't work out. But those are always like really good months.
See,
It's like,
I try and really avoid a situation like
well,
that
yes, I'm trying
because
to
it
do that in my
makes
older
me
age.
want to I then spiral out and I'm like, "Oh my god. Everything from the past is erased. This like we're meant to be. We've come back into into each other's lives. You know, they
Right.
say, you like someone go, and if they come back, it's I'm that kind of dummy. I'd be like, what is their astrology sign and how I'm not saying
Oh, yeah.
astrological people are dumb. I'm just saying because I am one. All I'm saying, guys, I'm digging myself a hole here. All I'm saying is people from my past who I've had pasts with. I don't know
That
about that.
you cut them out for a reason. But I think it's also something to be said for people changing and coming back around in your later life. If you're both not horrible people.
Yeah, and I think that with them there is a comfortability, right?
Yeah.
And the weird thing though is Aiden is never going to be he's not really any different than Carrie he ever was. So Carrie
Wait till you see how this turns out. I just realized you don't know what happens here. And it's pretty crazy.
okay, I can't wait.
Okay.
I'm
It's because
excited.
there's all these kind of conspiracy theories that are very funny that like I don't think that the show is deep enough to actually have them be true. And also Aiden's back for season 4, so obviously it's not true. But like I can't wait to see how like watch you be like, that's what they did with this story. It's not. Okay.
Well, okay, good. I'm actually then excited about that. We find out guys, this is very important. One of Aiden's chickens lays eggs in his son's bed every morning. Hey, don't forget that. Don't forget that, guys, because that's referenced three
The
times to
son is
Aiden.
going to become a pretty key player, by the way.
Though I let the episode play through because I was still typing something on here. And they don't, and Carrie's just like back in New York, first part of the episode, and it's like, yeah, I loved the farmhouse. She
Oh,
leaves the end of
did
this
she
episode
go?
being like, well, the end of this episode, she literally is like, and I'm going to the farmhouse. She walks out her door going.
Right, but she hasn't been when they're here at the table, right? She just found it
No, but I'm
online.
saying the next episode,
Oh,
it
yeah.
goes into,
Oh, it
they
doesn't show them at
never
the
show the
farmhouse.
farmhouse. It just shows that, like,
Right.
anyway. He's on hold throughout this whole thing. Carrie kind of invites herself to go to his farm and meet his boys. And this is really when something stood out to me at this episode. I believe the makeup department went on strike this episode because something's going on with these women's faces. In this episode, specifically, the makeup's messed up.
Oh, I
Carrie
didn't
looks
notice.
very washed out or something and splotchy, and like her blush is too dark. And I mean, this is like obviously I know what I'm talking about, guys. So you know, I just put up my photo of me when I did makeup
You're
once.
snatched. The
I
key
I
part of makeup, I've realized that like one of the smallest things you can do if you only have like 5 minutes to do your makeup, if you just
mhm.
put that like highlighter right up here, that
Yeah,
does so. I put a little on the tip of my nose too. It really does do so much.
it
It works
does.
hard for you.
This episode could have used some of that. That's all I'm
Okay,
gonna say.
I
Because
could
then
use
when
it.
I looked at everyone, something was going on with their coloring here. The faces were not right. Carrie's trying to research what the farmhouse will be like.
Oh,
She
wait,
searches.
wait, I want to go back to the fact that Aiden's like, I want you to meet my boys. Now, I don't think anything would send a shockwave through my gastrointestinal system than the idea of being introduced as the new girlfriend. Mom's still alive, by the way. So now your new girlfriend, who also broke your dad's heart, I'm now introduced to two teenager boys.
3, I think.
3. I don't do well with straight. I don't do well with teenagers. I didn't do well with teenagers when I was a teenager. I was scared of them. I'm even more scared of them now. Boys, straight boys, fucking give me a. I mean, no.
This would be challenging, but I'm good with
Really
kids. But I can't even imagine a situation like where a man who has a 14, 17, and 20-year-old, a living wife or ex-wife or whatever, brings me over as his new boyfriend, and that these 14, 17, and 20-year-olds are like loving me. If they were like 5 and 6, they would love me. But
I would just be I'm awkward anyway, but like with this much pressure on you to impress, like this would just be a nightmare. Unless they were gay. If it was like, oh, I have 3 gay sons, I'd be like, great, we're gonna get along just fine.
Well, I mean, at the top of the next episode, it sounds like it was all great. Carrie learns how she got to see the chicken lay the egg in the bed. Carrie goes to lunch with the girls, all right? They're all wondering, how does the chicken get up the stairs? Carrie says, I don't know, an escalator? And this is when we find out that Aiden's sons are 14, 17, and 20. And then
funny is the kid named Tate, right? Because that's when she runs into him at the end of that burger episode. It's the first episode of season 6, maybe, where
he's on the front. He has the baby on the front of him.
Tate. I call him Tater Tot because he looks like a tater tot.
Oh, well, I'm glad you have good memory, because there was a moment here too where they referenced Sex and the City. There were 2 actual.
Well, even just mentioning the country, and then Carrie goes, "Remember when I went to that country house?" It's like, yes, we know. It's called.
That's
Sex
what
and
I'm
Country,
saying.
Carrie.
Even though I'm still traumatized from that country shack he had upstate, and they're talking
Also,
about
it wasn't even bad. It was like fully renovated, like gorgeous country house. Shut up.
It just was like there was a squirrel there.
A friendly squirrel. I'd be like, there's a fucking squirrel there. Can we move here?
They should have referenced the mud wrestling. I would have been much happier if they would reference that.
You're middle-aged.
That means you're still in there somewhere. Anyway, I went back home after he left, and I Googled vintage red brick farmhouse Norfolk. And she pulls up all these like gorgeous places, and she brings up this movie Howard's End, which, guys, maybe we are too young.
No, that's what the problem is here. Is we are the demographic, and we don't fucking know Howard's End.
I don't know, because they reference it a lot in the rest of this episode, and it has who did she say it was in? Who was in it?
I got it right here. Oh, Anthony Hopkins and Emma Thompson. It looks boring as fuck based on the
Anthony Hopkins and Emma Thompson
and Helena Bonham Carter and Vanessa Redgrave. And it's a period movie. Fucking barf.
Oh, gross.
I'm not sitting through this.
Ew. Okay, so Carrie did some roundabout justifying about traveling back and forth an hour and a half because it would be like the movie Howard's End. And Charlotte is just so excited. She can't believe that Carrie's willing to see his kids and do all of that. But this is when we start to get our first inkling of my homegirl, Seema. She's not feeling it. You were starting to pull away a little bit, which I kind of like as a person who is currently single, no children. When someone starts getting up all in their thing about how in love they are and how great it is and how they're blah 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 blah, it sometimes gets tiring, I'll say. And so I understand it from Seema's point. And then I had actually forgotten until she mentions it later that they got that house in the Hamptons.
That conversation is one of my favorite things on this show. I love that in the rain, their hair is wet. Carrie kind of looks like a fucking drowned rat. Like I love all of it. It's just a beautiful scene, and they're smoking.
Seema is so good in it too.
And it is a good point because this is what this happens. And I feel like Seema, like it sucks because like when you're a Seema, you're like, well, I don't want to be made out as just this bitch who does not happy for my friend. But it's also like I'm glad that they wrote this story and she plays it really well.
I agree. I think I would definitely be in the place of being like, I love ya, but like I don't want to go. See, I'm so bitchy. I would straight out be like, I'm not gonna spend the summer with you and your man.
Well,
The
that's the
three of
thing is
us
that
in a house.
the problem is that Carrie just assumed Carrie is that girl that
Agreed.
assumes, well, now Aiden's in my life, so now he's in all of your life now.
And
And
she's like, oh, well, he won't be there every night. I'd be like, I don't want him there any night.
no,
honey.
it's supposed to be our thing.
It's
Can you
supposed to be like
take space from
single
Aiden?
sisterhood, like single summer,
And
And
it's really I think it's a problem if you have these plans with your best friend. I guess they're not, or are they best friends? Whatever. You have these plans, and it's not even an option that you just are like, well, Aiden, I'm actually going away for 2 months, so I'll see you in 2 months. Why is that not an option at all?
Carrie never even considers it a situation until like
she forgot
until
about it
Seema brings it up later, and then Carrie's like, you did that without even asking me? And it's like, yeah, bitch, you didn't seem too concerned. Anyway, all right. Come to find out, Carrie accidentally Googled Norfolk, England, not Virginia.
I believe it's pronounced Norfolk. And the only reason I know that is because Brad was born. Brad was born there. Yeah. Norfolk, Virginia.
Virginia? Norfolk.
Well, that's where Brad was born. Maybe there's another Norfolk, but it's pronounced Norfolk.
Guys, if you guys live in Norfolk, let me know.
Well, Brad will let you know because he was born there and he used to always fucking rave about that.
Carrie and Miranda are walking down the street. Miranda is this is when we're getting introduced that she is going to be an intern for the Human Rights Watch. I guess that's what it's called. Human Rights Watch.
Yeah, Human Rights thing. It was the internship that she quit before.
Yes, she had turned it down the year before, and when she was interviewing with them this time, she said that was the single biggest mistake she had ever made.
I would say it's letting Che Diaz finger you in the kitchen and then leaving your entire family and moving to LA.
I mean, that'd probably be one.
Kind of a stinker too, but fine. I like this storyline too, by the way, though, because when I moved back to Calgary, I did go on a couple of job interviews that I was the most qualified for, and it was completely like, well, they don't want the 40-year-old, they want the 25-year-old. So like, I like storylines like this because it does show that like there's a possibility that other people do want to hire the people with experience.
Shit, Miranda has like tons of experience. She graduated first in her class at Harvard or something.
Then that in no way lends to how she behaves during this episode. Because it's like, you were a partner at a Manhattan law firm, Miranda, and you are letting these two cunts bully you?
You're like,
there's no way that happens.
I don't want to step on their feet. Like, why have we decided that Miranda goes from being a semi-powerful woman in Sex and the City to like a grumbling dummy in
did she win any lawsuits ever?
She was better then, wasn't she?
Well, anyway, this
is why she's no longer a lawyer, probably. So, she talks about that she's gonna go do this thing and how it was the biggest thing, but another mistake was that she was at a silent meditation retreat and she got kicked out of it. She's really concerned about being the bottom man on the totem pole when she goes to the new place, but then she realizes she probably shouldn't say totem pole or man or bottom. Okay. Then we're introduced to the fact that Miranda thinks Carrie should slow down with Aiden. All right. She's like, that was blah, blah, blah. Like, maybe you should take it a little slow. And Carrie says, Aiden and I aren't the past. I'm very much in the present. In fact, these last couple weeks, I've been having orgasms like I've never had in my entire life with anyone, including Aiden. And Miranda's like, Okay.
Can I just let any of my friends out there that listen to this know, I never need that piece of information. Like, you can always omit that and, like, I'll get it.
I would never tell
in no
someone
way need
that.
to know that
To
information.
be perfectly honest, I don't even think I would be telling friends. I wouldn't be like, "Oh yeah, he knows how to fuck." I've never in my life done
No,
that.
you know what? I have said that probably to you several times, but never about someone that I'm, like, dating and I'm going to continue
Currently.
dating.
Yeah, yeah.
If there's any potential of you meeting this person at some point, but no way. But shockingly, I actually kind of am on Carrie's side on here, where she really isn't moving too fast. I really do feel like at this point, you're starting at, like, 3/4 of the way in.
Well,
I don't but
how
I think
how
you might
do
as
you
well.
slow this down? Like, you're just like, "Oh, well, I've known you for years. We were engaged at one point.
Yeah,
I
we
think
loved
let's
each
just see
other.
each other for coffee 3 times a week." That's where I wanna start. Like, what?
Yeah, no, I totally think that, you're starting kind of from where you left off.
But I understand. I think Miranda is being a good friend
Yeah.
here in a
But
way that Carrie
Miranda's
refuses
not
to be.
allowed to give relationship advice for the rest of her life. That's
True.
all. As far as I'm concerned.
This though is when Carrie introduces this idea that she says, "I think maybe I was always holding a piece of myself back because of Big. Like I couldn't or I wouldn't allow myself to fully go there, just feel this connection."
Well, yes, that's why it's good that you married Big, because if she hadn't married Big, then he always would have been out there as the one that got away.
And she is now saying she thinks that she could never fully let herself orgasm with Big or like fully let herself go sexually.
That actually no, I don't remember her saying that, but you reading it back to me just now, I feel like she was saying she was never able to fully orgasm with Aiden before. Is that what she was saying? Because
No,
Big was always out there? She was saying
she's
she couldn't
like,
orgasm with Big.
I was always holding a piece of myself back because of Big. Like I couldn't or I wouldn't allow myself to fully
Oh,
go there, just feel this connection. You
that
didn't
actually
feel a
makes
connection with Big? That
no, I really think that that actually does make a lot of sense for the character because she always didn't feel as good as Big. She was always more in
Yeah.
love with him than he was with her. So, like, I can see that she never wanted to, because sex is, like, so weird and awkward and, like, you look ugly when you do it. Like, it's a lot to, like, give that over to someone. And she already is Big is so judgmental already. I can see him being turned off by her, like, O face.
Well, Carrie asked the question, was Big a
Oh god.
big mistake? That would be when I'd want to slap my friend because you aren't being real. You've decided now you're going to make a joke. You're saying that this person that you were with for 20 years or whatever it was is like was a mistake and you're
Oh
going to
yeah,
like be
I
like
can't do this. Like, we are not going through this again. I remember there was God, oh, it was Stanford. It's what he says it to Carrie. I don't know what season, but oh no, I know where it is. It's the one where the Nina girl makes that like face at Carrie, the one that dates the one that's the booker for SNL that dates Aiden after, and she makes the face at Carrie.
oh yeah, uh-huh.
And then and then she's wearing a neon green towel dress in the park with Stanford, and he's talking about his new boyfriend, and she's like, "Yeah, well, what about this girl, this face girl?" And then Stanford's like, "Carrie, it's enough. I've been hearing you talk about Aiden for 3 weeks and 2 years, and I'm done." I feel like that's what I'd be like with Miranda here. I'm like, we're not winding back through the road of Aiden versus Big again. I'm not doing that with you.
If
again.
you were Miranda, you would say that.
If I was Miranda, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
when Stanford said that to Carrie, it's like, I've heard you talk about this for so long, it's done. That's what I would
Well,
do.
the way that they also play this, I don't feel like this episode was directed by Cynthia Nixon because it's like, was Big a big mistake? And then it's like, bah,
Yeah, the 35
bah,
minutes of silent
bah,
water.
bah. And then Miranda's like, I don't know.
She's like,
Okay.
I still don't know what to say. I'll see her direct
Great.
today.
All right. Well, Shar is with her family and Rock is texting like a little piece of crap. Just kidding. She announces she's taking the job at the gallery. And everyone's so happy because they just want her out of their hair. Charlotte is just all up in their business, basically. And they need her to get the hell out. Go get a job, bitch.
They don't give a fuck, Mom. Get out.
They're awful.
Yeah.
Basically. But we find out, this is not going to be like when I was a docent at the Frick or when I volunteered at school. In fact, I'm not even going to be here when you get home from school. And sometimes I'm going to miss dinner. And the kids are like, okay, bye.
Why would you miss dinner?
And then literally, and she's like, Harry, aren't you going to miss me? And he's like, no. And then she says, are you going to miss me, Richard Burton? Phil, what'd you think about that?
I like whenever the dog is mentioned.
Agreed. If the dog is in the scene, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Put dogs in more of these scenes because wait, what was there a dog in? Was there a dog in Wicked? No.
There's a lot of animal abuse. There's a lot of animal abuse in Wicked that I did not like.
But that is so important. There were people.
I know. I get it.
Sorry, tiny little break, guys. There are people online being like, they should have just cut the whole talking animal storyline because like they could have gotten to the point faster. And I'm like,
have you seen that people?
That's kind of like
so enraging. People are saying that Alphabet.
Yes.
So
but they think that the wizard is like Democrats and the media or something.
Okay, fine.
Anyway, yes, that's probably the source of our 1-star ratings. Anyway, guys, keeping it.
Okay, Miranda's at work now, right? Yeah, Miranda's at work, and these two cunts befriend. Okay, this is how I was treated at that dog job that I had.
Miranda comes in. She's obviously more, more experienced than these girls who are like 24 or something, like typical people who'd be interns at a thing. And they do this they give some great exposition here. The girl's like, oh my God, Raina's our favorite supervisor. She's super smart and chill, but don't be surprised if the first thing she asks you to do are pure grunt work. This is then when we're introduced to, I guess what's supposed to be funny or something is a garlic chocolate chip cookie. The one girl has a garlic chocolate chip cookie and is like, these are our favorite cookies from downstairs. Here, you must have the other half. You've got to have it. Did you understand what was the point?
I think what they're saying is the girls are trying to befriend her at first because they're all going to be interns together. But
I thought they were trying to like sabotage her or something.
Oh no, I think here they were genuinely trying to be friends with her. Like, oh, we're all grunt work together. But then the pregnant girl comes out and she's like,
Raina asks Miranda to sit in and take notes. And the girls are shook because they had just gone into a whole diatribe about how we've been here for months and years, and all we do is analyze shit. We don't even get to go listen to any meetings. We don't get to take notes. We don't get to do anything. And so they're like, oh my God, what? Then in what could have easily been a text message, we get a scene where Carrie stops by Che's job.
This didn't even have to be a text message. It could be Carrie in the elevator with Aiden going, okay, remember, we're Airbnb-ing Che's apartment.
Agreed.
The whole thing could have been cut.
Agreed.
She could have been cut out of
You know what? You're totally right about that. No, but we need the hilarious.
In this, though, I think. Sorry.
I agree. But we need the hilarious storyline that they're Che's cousins. Doug, Brad, whatever the hell. Again,
and does Brad and Janet? But does this not also prove that Che owns that apartment? They bought it.
Yes.
When people get on SNL, they usually rent for at least 5 years before they buy something. Actually, SNL puts them up for 2 weeks in a hotel, and a lot of people don't even start looking.
Carrie walks into the pet clinic
where Che is working my fucking dream job. A receptionist at I don't even know if this is a vet clinic, but
it's like a free vet clinic or something.
Yeah, with benefits and overtime. Okay.
And full time.
Full-time benefits overtime.
And when Carrie walks in, Che's like, no fucking way! And Carrie's like, way! I 1000% do not believe that Carrie and Che's relationship would last, 1, past the podcast, and especially 2, past Miranda and Che's breakup.
Carrie's
that makes absolutely 0 sense. But anyway, Che's like, oh, sorry I said fuck in front of your turtle, man. That's important because Carrie's then like, I'm not interrupting a turtle emergency, am I? And then Che says, oh no, dude's just waiting for his dog who's in the back with a cyst. And the turtle is here for, the turtle was worried about the dog.
So funny.
Now I would think that was an okay bit if it wasn't that they would spend 10 minutes on this show having like regular, like, this is stuff that's happening. And then you try and throw in some zany thing that's like so off the wall. That's like, it doesn't make sense. You guys are going for reality here. Okay.
Oh, by the way, the commercials have now played on my Max thing, so I can check on this Giuseppe. Yeah. All right, but keep going.
Carrie asks to Airbnb Che's apartment and Che will stay at Carrie's. And this is where I wrote, I mean, like you could have just texted them, but okay.
Yeah.
People are clamoring for Giuseppe to deliver that baguette, baby.
Also, are there no employees now? All the employees are gone.
Well, remember Anthony fired all the ones that were on HGH. And so the only one that he could keep was Giuseppe. But oh, wait, guys, Giuseppe's about to get fired because he's gay.
Which
this is an interesting scene. And I want to believe it. I want to be positive and believe it. And would compare myself somewhat to an Anthony type in a way. And I just don't see this happening. Not to be mean.
Like, what do you see? Like,
I just don't see myself. Well, 1, I don't see myself owning a sourdough company called Hot Fellas. But beyond that, the whole lead up to this, that you've hired Giuseppe, and Giuseppe with his 10-inch dong, gorgeous face, and like poetryness and all of like, he's like a dreamboat in lots of people's vision. The Italian accent, all of it. And he is so horny and drawn to Anthony, who hasn't even been welcoming or anything.
He wants someone that'll make him laugh.
But has Anthony even made him laugh? He's mostly just been a dick to him.
Yeah, he's kind of just been screaming in his face.
That's what I'm saying. He's mostly just been an asshole. Like, I haven't seen any moment of like him being like them having a real moment, except when Giuseppe, here's what's happening. People are clamming for Giuseppe to deliver their bread, okay? Giuseppe ends up being like, oh, Anthony, do not punch the bread. I can't do an Italian. That's my Giuseppe accent. Do not punch the bread, Anthony. You're going to punch the bread.
Do not punch the bread.
Do not punch the bread. Please, if you're Italian, don't hate me, God. So then he's like, let me show you. This is how we knead bread in Italy. And he walks over, and Anthony is like startled when Giuseppe and his big 10-inch boner rubs right up on him. I mean, you're feeling that dick, are you not?
That's hot.
Are you not, though? It is hot, but would this happen? I'm trying to not be a hater, but I
would like push back on it.
Oh, we know that that's what you do, Amanda. We know Amanda loves to push.
That's like hot. That's the point.
This is really hot. Anyway, I'm probably just speaking out of jealousy. I'm gonna need a Giuseppe situation to happen.
I would love a Giuseppe situation.
Yeah, where he just is like, "You are so funny. I just think you are so funny." Giuseppe. Then we find out Giuseppe's like, "Yeah, all of these women, they want me to come to their house, but none of them know I'm gay. It's just like they don't even get it." And Anthony's like, "Wah, la, la, la." And then he's like, "You're gay?" And then Giuseppe's like, "I am gay." And then Anthony's like, "Well, you're fired." Because he like has this panic situation, like, which in a way, like, I kind of get Anthony,
I get it too.
because as a gay man, I find it is easier to be around and flirtatious with straight men.
Yeah.
For me, I get more uncomfortable around actual gay men.
Right.
I get it. Because there's like a possibility of something.
Yeah,
with
well,
like
same with
when
the
you're
gay
just
guys,
like poking around with a straight dude.
Okay,
it's
I'm
like,
at this scene right now. Okay, so when does
you
it happen?
see it when they get into kiss. You have to look down at like his pants and you see like the head of it popping up, like rubbing against the desk.
Really? Okay, wait. Okay, they're kissing right now. Has it already happened then?
Are you looking down at his like bulge area?
Well, no, they're talking in front of some juice boxes. I refuse to become a middle-aged male, Lorraine. Oh yeah, you're right. That is really that is really random.
But
because it's
they
almost
never.
as if the actor just has a boner and they just went with it.
That's what I'm saying. They don't. I feel like they had a joke in there somehow. Like he was like, "Oh, I'm rising for you, Anthony, right now," or whatever. And like they show his hard dick in his pants.
Wow,
but they cut the
I
joke.
did not notice, but it is fully like it's definitely. But they're not. They've covered it with like 2 like juice boxes. So it's like they're trying. It's not like they're trying to feature it.
Well, maybe that I do think it was a joke, and they were like, you know what, that's not as sweet as we need it to be like more like loving than the whole. I couldn't get the sourdough to rise today. Well, you got my French baguette to rise, or whatever the fuck he was.
So okay, just imagine this. So like. You're standing in front of Giuseppe. He's like telling you how you're so funny, and he goes into kiss, and like he's got this rock hard dick through khakis, clearly not wearing underwear, and he's got loose khakis. Right now, you kiss. Does your hand not just immediately go like bloop?
Oh well, I mean, your hands have to be somewhere. I would not go right for the dick. No, I'm a tease. I'm a tease more. Oh. I would definitely like. I'd have my hands like head. I like to have my hand on the back of the head, well, like the bottom of the neck where all of that.
I feel like both my hands would just go to it.
And then the other hand like lower back, but I would be like pulling him in towards me, and I'd be like making sure that it was getting touched.
Oh, you know what I like to do is pull on the like the belt, like put your fingers kind of in. And
oh yeah, I love that.
Like
you know what I like? When they wear if the guy has like a chain necklace on or like a gold chain or something.
Okay, yeah.
I like to just pull on it.
Oh, I haven't been with someone with a chain in a while.
anyway, I don't mean like some big huge blinged out chain. I just mean like I think the guy was like Italian. It was like one of those ones that would have like a little medallion on it.
Yeah, like a cross.
Like Giuseppe would have this.
Giuseppe, they are kissing.
Giuseppe would have a cross and a medallion of St. Christopher on his neck. Please watch us be like incredibly
Anthony was
offensive.
not touching the penis either. He's like just holding his. And now his hands are just down by the side.
Because he doesn't want to get in trouble.
Not looking
because this is what happens next. Giuseppe is like, maybe I'll talk to a lawyer. And Anthony's like, oh, you're not fired. You're on probation. Probation pending firing. And then Giuseppe's like, see you tomorrow. E ragazza prende una pillola fredda, whatever the and he's like, and Anthony's like, what the fuck does that mean? Which, that's a little harsh, Anthony, to this guy who had a boner for you. He's like, and Giuseppe says, it means, girl, take a chill pill. I laughed. I actually LOL.
You laughed? Okay, that's fine.
I liked that. I like that Giuseppe was telling Anthony, girl, take a chill pill, but in
I wish he'd said, good God, girl, get a grip.
It's like 5 Gs. Yeah. Great. LTW and Charlotte, which we haven't seen LTW, are shopping. LTW, I didn't hate her outfit, but the schmata thing that she has on top of it literally just looks like a throw blanket. It has no shape. It literally looks like a throw blanket. Am I crazy?
Oh, well, Naya wasn't in this episode, and this scene could have been cut completely.
I was glad. This was good. I was glad Naya wasn't in it because her storyline don't care about. And then LTW didn't even have a storyline really in this, except being Charlotte's shopping buddy. Because this also drove me crazy. Charlotte needed to go shopping for clothes for her new job as though she doesn't already have 10 billion outfits. Yeah. And then guess
Yeah,
what,
but
guys?
this is a girl too.
She
Ouch.
finds the perfect dress. And it looks like every single other dress I've ever
Yeah.
seen her wear ever, ever, ever. Anyway, she just wants to feel good. So Charlotte finds a dress that looks like every dress she's ever worn, and she feels it's tight, like in her tummy area. And I couldn't have guessed where the hell this storyline was gonna go. I hated the way where it
The way it
went.
wrapped, I'm like,
I'll say.
but I will give them credit for that. It was pretty truthful the way it wraps up, unfortunately.
What? That Charlotte was like, oh well, my boss is a fat girl, so it doesn't matter
Yes,
if I'm chubby now.
100%. Yes, it's like, well, as long as I'm not the fatty in the office, then I can let it all hang out. I think
As
that
a
is
fat
pretty
person over
truthful.
here, when I'm saying fat, guys, please don't think I'm
Oh,
like,
I've been the
you're
Bonnie
fucking
Mulligan.
fat.
Yeah.
No, I am everywhere I go, I feel like a fucking giant. I'm also
You're
tall, so
tall
I
though.
like that's why I sit in my special seat at the theater.
Yeah.
And like Mandisha said, I did wet that shit when Jonathan Bailey got out there. Big, big.
Oh, that whole top row was wet from me and Justine on too.
All right. So some work bitch thinks Charlotte is huge.
This
And
would never happen either. They would, first of all, would know Charlotte.
she's
Second of all,
like,
this is a super rich person's store, so they're going to be as nice as possible. Third of
mhm.
all, Charlotte looks amazing in this dress. There's no world in which someone would be like, you should wear these
I was
instead.
confused here. And in fact, I think they should have given Charlotte a better dress to like
To
don't
look
give
fat
her a
in.
black dress to make her look fat.
Yeah, they could have just found a kind of unflattering dress.
Yeah, like I was like, oh well, okay. And as someone who's aging, I understand the process of aging. Usually when you get your 50s, I'm not in my 50s yet, but 50s, 60s, I think it's a little harder to have a rock hard like stomach. No, I think don't you just get like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
natural kind of tummy?
It gets harder and harder to lose weight for sure. Is this next part the thing that was the other reference? When you
Um
Carrie or Charlotte looking at her old photos?
oh yes, Charlotte, which was a weird cut. They don't usually cut from one person to cutting to another scene of the same person. But anyway, Charlotte's now reminiscing over a hat box of old photos of the gals, and Samantha was in one. And I thought, what did they have to pay
Let's see.
Samantha just for her likeness
Oh,
to be
no,
in
I don't
this
think they would have
episode?
had to though, because this is from the episode entitled "Luck Be an Old Lady." It's at the
Oh
end
yeah.
when they have to, because they took the plane, Richard's plane, but then she breaks up with him, so they have to take that
Oh, the bus,
shuttle
right?
back, and like
Yeah.
they get a photo, and that's what that photo is.
All right. Charlotte is now okay, great. She pins her old photo on the new dress, I guess, as motivation to lose weight. Charlotte, don't lose weight. You look great. Fuck
Yes.
everyone. Carrie and Aiden are going to chase Airbnb. The building doesn't like Airbnbs, blah, blah, blah. They're supposed to say they're Chay's cousins. How do you
But
know
also,
her?
Carrie is telling him this on the elevator. It's like, this would have you're saving this to 1 minute before we're about to meet like
This,
potential people.
this part made even less sense was this is Aiden asking about Che. How do you know her? We did a podcast together. Oh, and it's them actually. It's they them actually, which I actually really like the way they handled this because it was Carrie was just like, "Oh, it's they them actually." And Aiden's like, "Oh, okay." And then they just kept it
Yeah.
pushing.
Well, I
Um
like that too, but then I forgot to say in that earlier scene at the vet clinic, I was like, count the amount of times they're saying they. Because that doctor comes out and she's like,
oh,
they did this and they're sitting here and it's like, no, we know, but it was just a lot of days, and I just feel like she wouldn't have been used as much as they put it in there on purpose.
oh yeah, probably.
They were really coming in, they were really bashing over the head with the they in that scene.
Well, good thing that Carrie explained because the neighbor comes out, a bitchy gay. At least it looks like a bitchy gay in my opinion. They're like, Aiden's like, hello, we are they, them's cousin. That's their pronoun. Brad. I'm Brad. This is Janet. And where are you going? Chay's cousins, I should say, the two of us. And that was it.
Yeah, like, but I blame this on Carrie for not planning this any other time.
And then here's where they got to, instead of just letting it be like a little whatever, I don't even know where those goddamn names come from. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Wink. You're right. Damn it, Janet.
I really hated it.
This I also hated. Wow. Yeah. All right. Let's get into these salads. Carrie? Carrie.
So relatable, this scene.
Where are the salad tongs? Where are the salad tongs for our to-go salads? Where are salad tongs?
Like,
Tell me, baby, when is the
fork.
last time you used a fucking pair of salad tongs? And you're telling me that Aiden Shaw is that uppity about salad tongs? I do not believe for a second he lived in a rundown shack as we're being reminded. And he is uppity about salad tongs?
Right.
Anyway, he's like, can't have a proper kitchen without salad tongs and a pepper mill. Carrie's like, I think we can survive without salad tongs and a pepper mill. And then it's like, and then Carrie comes out of the bedroom and she's like, but not hangers. Che has like 5 hangers in there and they're all wire. Great. And then they go to a home store and I love it. I have like an obsession with stores like this. I love them. I just love them.
Yeah, I had to go to the mall today because I did an Instacart at Sephora. I paid $27 to bring 2 eyeliners 2 blocks away. Anyway, but I got to walk around the mall and there were like a lot of little special. I like wanted to go in everywhere.
Maybe you should go back.
Maybe I will.
I've decided that I'm only buying local things for Christmas presents this year. Well, I am actually, okay. I'm going to be for the next 4 years. I don't know why 4 years, just a number I chose. I'm going to be on a no spending. I'm not stimulating any economy is all I'm going to say. I will be stimulating my own economy.
I'm about to stimulate Canada's economy by $3,000 because my oil change yesterday turned into, oh, you need $3,000 worth of repairs. On the car, you only spent $6,000.
Are you sure you need all that?
Yeah, they're all pretty important things.
Did you have a person talk to you about it?
I had a lesbian talk to me about it.
Oh, okay.
I just sexted about her at one time, actually. Yeah, I was into it. So then I felt kind of like awkward when she called me. I was like, hi.
Did she finger bang you in the kitchen?
No, I can never get to the sex in those dreams.
You're right. I think I don't. Yeah, you're right.
I never get penetration at least, but it's just like I sometimes the feeling of just the excitement of like, is it going to happen or isn't it? It's more exciting.
Yeah. Well, they end up buying, I'm guessing $10,000 worth of items based on the scene later,
like a teeny tiny cheese grater for like to grate garlic.
Sea salt grater.
Oh, sea salt.
Carrie's like, look at this teeny tiny cheese grater, and Aiden's like, that's a sea salt grater. Are you a gourmand? Because later they are cooking, and guys, take a wild guess what gourmet meal they're cooking.
Salmon?
Chili.
Oh, chili. Okay, because Carrie makes salmon. She was making salmon all through season 1, remember? I could go for some salmon. I would love a salmon salad.
They needed to buy $10,000 worth of kitchen items to make chili, which is like famously you need 1 pan or 1 pot. Like you cook it all in there. What the fuck? You
can buy like an allspice seasoning for that too. You don't need.
I can't.
It doesn't call for freshly grated sea salt.
The tiny sea salt grater was imperative. Okay. Then this is when Seema. We cut to. I don't remember where Seema is. Oh, Seema is at her office. Okay, she gets a text from Carrie asking about the dinner with Aiden, and then we're introduced to this man, Elliot, who tries to convince Seema to deal with a Marvel director who wants to rent. But guess what? Seema, like true professionals, don't do rentals. He is.
Oh, is that why no one wants him? Okay.
Well, the guy originally didn't want him because he's a pain in the ass. So he was going to pawn him off to Seema, but Seema doesn't do rentals. Which, if you have enough other business, you wouldn't
His rental's a lot more of a bitch to handle.
It kind of is. It's just a lot. It's just a different type of work too than, you
You're
know.
dealing with poorer people.
No.
I mean, you are.
No,
You
I'm sure
legitimately
this
are.
Marvel director, like, shit, I'll go deal with his rental. It's probably
Yeah,
20
right?
grand a month. Like,
And also, he doesn't
sure,
seem
babe.
that difficult. He's just on his phone. That's like,
Yeah,
fine.
he just, yeah. And with
He's
her, I
polite
mean,
about
it's obvious that he's gonna get horny. But you know what wasn't making me horny? They have now decided they're going to put all of these men they introduce back in these fugly ass jackets with ties at the middle. At least this one wasn't a buckle, but this was as though you were telling me this man is wearing like a safari jacket tied in the middle.
And like when this
You couldn't
episode
pay me
aired, I
enough
don't
money.
remember that being the style either. Like
It
I don't remember
wasn't.
there wasn't
No,
a time for this.
this show, they want to like make everyone like have 50 layers of on every outfit they wear. Like later, Giuseppe walks in wearing driving gloves. You're
That's
telling
when
me
he has a boner,
Giuseppe
yeah.
is gonna walk in with like little camel colored leather gloves?
Well, he's what is he, Italian? They dress all wacky.
I get it, but isn't he like 23 or something?
Yeah, like how long have you lived here, bro?
I'm confused. Anyway, so this man is in an ugly ass jacket. I would love you guys to look it up because as a person who I can't imagine wearing a jacket buttoned up. First of all, I wouldn't wear a buttoned up just because like I need to breathe and I go.
Oh yeah. I hate wearing jackets.
And then having a tie right over my like where I would feel fattest, like I'm gonna pop the tie the whole time, and it would just make me feel like the second I sit down, it would just give me instant rolls. And what the hell is this? Anyway, enough. They fired their HR because they were humorless. That's all what we found.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, tell me you're gonna work with me. He's not a fan, and for good reasons. I'm difficult, and I'm always on my phone. Then why would I want you? Because Marvel's money is paying for this very expensive apartment, which means no money drama and a luxurious commission. Blah, blah, blah. This is when we find out, oh, what about personal drama? Oh, I could promise you plenty of that. I didn't find this man that hot.
Oh, well, I mean, I think
Did you find him hot?
He's fine.
I know they fuck. Obviously, it's like you couldn't telegraph a fucking. I've never seen a storyline more like.
I honestly wouldn't put it past these writers to have that be in this episode and then it never gets discussed.
The guy disappears.
Just this scene. Like, okay, I guess she had a Marvel guy for one. But now we're with Miranda at lunch with her big salad. And this scene is egregious.
She got those garlic chocolate chip cookies for those twats. And they're sitting at the table. And she's like, oh, I'm just like, guys, like, how's it going? And they're sitting there texting each other across the table from each other. I mean, Miranda's like, I just kind of feel like maybe you're talking about me, which is awkward. And they're like, oh, no. Then the boss comes in, and guess what? She praises Miranda for being so amazing, thinks she's the greatest. And those other girls are pressed.
What I don't get here is Miranda is clearly like she's more of an introvert than an extrovert. And she's also in her 50s. She's like desperate to eat lunch with these girls. I'd be like, I don't want it. Like, just eat lunch alone like the rest of us. Why is she so desperate to eat lunch with these girls? You're fine.
I can't even imagine why.
Like, eat your salad and scroll through TikTok. That's
every
like
job I ever have. I leave at lunch, or I figure I would rather go drive my car around the corner and sit in it than be anywhere near. See, when I was a teacher, one of these people on my team, I'm just going to leave it at that, tried to dog me out to everyone else, being like, I just don't know why, like, he just seems standoffish. Like he doesn't want to, he doesn't have lunch with us. Honey, I don't want to spend my 20 minutes of lunch listening to you complain about your job. No, I want to go listen to a podcast. I want to zone completely out of this. I want to pretend that I don't even work here anymore.
I use that time to like gain energy and strength. Also, most of my jobs, I'm just alone, which is, I'm very lucky for that.
That is lucky.
It is
I've had most of my jobs where I'm like, with a lot
where
of
you
people.
have to like, oh, like that dog job I had, it was the most I've never worked in a more political job setting than at that doggy daycare that I
You
worked
don't
at.
mean like you mean in a like that it was like a rankings and all that of people and all that shit. That's more
Oh
what
yeah,
you
yeah,
mean.
not political,
Yeah.
but like it was, you had to, like you had to be constantly vying to be like in the Mean Girls, or you get, she would just fire the people that weren't popular. Every
Okay.
month she would fire the least popular person. So anyway, Miranda's
Charlotte has
desperate.
we find out oh yeah, great.
Great.
We find out Charlotte has been drinking bone broth. Excuse me. All week to fit in her dress.
Which
Harry thinks she looks amazing.
Harry needs to be like, stop it.
I just think it's stupid.
Yeah.
I just think there hits a point in life where it's like,
And she's like, I
really?
promise I'm working on it. It's like, for what? For this one day? You can't maintain this.
And for, I think it's just, I think that what they're trying to present here is this idea of being older, going into the workplace, and how it's uncomfortable because you're trying to ingratiate with yourself with these people who are younger than you and who you think are going to be this and think are going to be that, but then you're going to actually be the one who's actually kicking their ass anyway, so it doesn't matter, right? That's
It's
kind of
all
what they're
done.
going at.
I guess. I don't
Anyway,
know. Who cares?
I want to keep going because we're already
Yeah.
at a minute, an
Shay is
hour
at
and
Carrie's.
40. Carrie
With
and
Shay and
Aiden have
Carrie.
another hilarious run-in with the neighbor at Shay's, where he says, "My name's Doug," or whatever the fuck. Then Shay is at Shay. Che is at Carrie's, and the neighbor calls them.
This was kind of
Che.
a cute Che scene because Che was like,
Yeah,
put on Carrie's like under eye things, and they're kind of like snooping around, not in like a super rude way, but just being
which
like,
I
"Oh,
would
I'm
do
being
too.
Carrie Bradshaw for the day," and I was like, "See, Che was
Um,
starting to finally work for me here."
Che comes back to their own place where Carrie and Aiden are. It's now
And Carrie
outfitted
is
with a bunch
instantly
of shit.
annoying.
Instantly.
Instantly annoying. Just like Aiden's standing here, and Carrie's like, "We're making dinner. Aiden's really good at
And
it."
she's like, I didn't help, but I did open a lot of beers. And then
Who are
this
you right
was
now?
this was one of the most egregious parts I think I've seen in Sex and the City, and I will put that on paper. Okay. Carrie says, "Do you want a beer, Che?" Gets a beer, a bottled beer, takes it, puts it on the edge of the counter, the marble counter, and then like hits the top of it to
Oh,
open it.
yeah. That does work. But I would never do it on a marble counter.
Carrie Bradshaw is going to go into a home that has a marble countertop and be like, "Yeah, I'm a girl, or I'm a boy's girl, whatever the fuck."
She's a pick-me girl.
Exactly. I'm whatever I am. And I'm so like, oh my God, I'm so real. I drink beer. And I open it off I'm surprised she didn't try and like bite the lid off with her teeth.
Right.
I just do not believe that would happen. Che has a question. Why did this not work out the first time? And then Carrie, because I made a mistake. And then they hug for like way too long.
Because
Like,
this is because Che kind of is almost forced to say something because Che is standing there drinking their beer. No one else is drinking, so fun. And this whole time, Aiden's like standing there, kind of trying to converse with Che, and Carrie is just all over him, like just like and like when she's talking, she's only talking to Aiden, just like staring into Aiden's eyes. So Che's like, "So, why didn't you two work out?"
Yeah.
I made a mistake. And then they kiss.
Big mistake. I'm surprised she didn't say big mistake.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But it's probably, yeah.
Then Charlotte is talking to Anthony on the phone. Anthony's freaked out about the closeness to Giuseppe, and Charlotte is freaking out about the belt riding up on her thing because of her belly. And they're both talking at each other. And I guess the joke of this is at the end, they're like, "Well, thanks for listening. Bye." After they've just both been talking at each other, I guess.
Now, the thing with Spanx is like, so I hate Spanx because I think Spanx is not doing what you think it's doing. I think it makes you look like you're wearing Spanx for one.
I
And
would
it does
agree.
make,
In a lot of cases, it does look like you just look like too flat or
You
like
look
things are
flat, and also
too
so you look super, like, tight.
Mhm.
Like, you don't look like there's any movement to you, so
Yeah.
you look uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to watch you wearing
Well,
Spanx.
guys, if you want to see whatever, hilarity ensue, Charlotte does put on lots of Spanx and then is like, I can't look. Hello. Anyway, great.
She's wearing,
Carrie's
like,
out of.
$250 worth of Spanx too, by the way, that she throws them out
Did
later.
you say $450? Because yeah,
I
I
said
would agree on that. They're like, aren't they like
$250.
$100
I
each
I've
thing?
never, shockingly, I've never owned, brand name Spanx. I've owned, like,
I've
Walmart
never owned
Spanx.
Spanx either, but
I
I'm
hate
sure if
Spanx.
I was a girl, I probably would. Any
Yeah, no, if you
gays.
everyone should have a pair of Spanx just in case, but
Carrie's at the salon, and we have this like meeting of Seema is there and
yeah.
tries to sneak past. They both have their wet hair, and this is the whole conversation. I just copied and pasted it. All right, is everything okay? Is everything okay? You haven't answered any of my texts or calls about the dinner with Aiden. If we're having this conversation, I need to have a cigarette. And Carrie's like, what conversation? And Seema's like, this one, come on. And I
I would
loved
shit my
this.
pants. How much what would you care? I would shit my pants if someone said this to me. If we're gonna have this conversation, I need a cigarette. Oh my god,
I
just
would
kill
shit my
me.
pants too, but I would hope that I would have the forethought to be more aware because it is clear like a big part of this also is that like Carrie's completely dismissed, like
'Cause you
erase the
gotta know
idea that
you're
they
doing
did the
it, right?
Hamptons house and
Like,
stuff.
don't you have to know you're doing it,
I don't think
Carrie?
so because
You
Carrie
don't think?
has shown herself to do this every other time she's with a man before is like forget about your friends, forget about
Because
what's going
people have
on.
told her several times throughout the series, "You're a bad friend when you're dating
Mhm.
someone."
You'd think see, that's what I'd like a little bit more out of and just like that is I wanna see Carrie grow.
Growth and development, because you can
Yeah.
still grow as a
I
50-year-old.
think they've shown growth and development, and they're showing it in interesting ways for Miranda. I know it seems like she's regressed as far as growth, but at least
Charlotte
they're
kind of is too.
developing.
Charlotte has
Charlotte
interesting
too.
storyline.
Charlotte has been like they've given her trials with her kids, with the situation of being not as perfect as she would think, blah blah blah.
Tampon.
But Carrie's is like now it's like, well, they killed off my husband, and now we're gonna say that maybe I shouldn't have been with him
I
anyway.
mean,
Like
the best thing
that's
that
your
happened to her,
storyline.
she got a whole year worth of just victiming herself, of just being,
Well,
well.
I'd say it's probably been about 25 years of victiming herself because hasn't.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just don't think I could probably be her friend, but you never know. Who knows? So then they say, oh, it's raining. And I know. Well, we're standing on Madison Avenue with wet hairs and umbrellas, so something's really wrong. It's nothing catastrophic, okay? I'm very happy for you. I am. It's just our Hamptons house. Oh my God, I forgot about the Hamptons. Well, I didn't, and I
Do you know
can't
how
do
much
it.
that would piss me off? Like, so you forgot about.
I think Seema knows. I feel like by this point, Seema realizes that that's what happened and
That's
is
so
happening.
sad. I feel sad because
And
it's because she acts this so well. I like just feel for her.
yeah, I
Very well
agree. I
written.
love Seema. It's just our Hamptons house. Oh my God, I forgot about the Hamptons. Well, I didn't, and I can't do it. I can't be a third wheel. And that's not the summer I signed up for. No, of course, of course. I totally get it. And I hear you, but he won't be there every week. I swear you will love him. I'm sure I will, but I won't love how I feel about myself when he's there. When you invited me to dinner, you said, we want to take you to dinner. Carrie, you're already a we. And please don't do this because don't think this
She
is
said,
only because I can't have dinner in the
"Oh,
Hamptons with just the three of us. Although that is part of it. Okay, well tell me what else is it? What? There's no way to say this without seeming petty or pathetic. Well, you're neither petty nor pathetic. So just say it. From everything I've heard, from everything I've heard. Because like she says that she's had these two great loves. So where is she hearing that? Anyway, continuing. And I've had
from
none.
Carrie," because Carrie is always talking about it. Probably.
It sounds to me that you've had these two great loves and I've had none. No, please don't say I will because I might not. And I can live with that. But I can't do this summer. That's not true. I could, but I don't want to. I don't want to spend a fortune having this feeling. So I got a deposit back. What? Without talking to me?
Yeah, that's
Honey,
when
you
Carrie
forgot
was
about it, babe. If I would have
Yeah.
brought it up to you, you would have forgotten all about it. I didn't want you to lose money. I'm not worried about losing money because I have $50 million. I'm worried about losing you. And I like Seema here. She's like, we'll be fine. It's just I need a little space right now. And Carrie being a bitch. No, you can't have it. You know what space gives friends? More space. Seema, please, really, don't pull away from me and pretend you don't see me at a salon hair washing bowl. And then the stylist, this was very dramatic. Seema, I'm coming. We'll be fine, we will. I just need some space.
Now, if I were Carrie, I would fully spin out here, but also like
I don't think you would because Carrie doesn't care.
well, if someone said this to me, I would be devastated.
But you would never have probably gotten this to this point, would you?
True. But here's another great point. Carrie literally had this storyline in season 1 where she's at the Hamptons with that couple and that guy whips his dick out and she gets kicked out. She like knows in the Hamptons specifically.
Yeah.
You shouldn't go out and like no one wants to be the third wheel for like a couple in the Hamptons.
Agreed.
And
I think also being a third wheel is different when you're in your 50s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like once you've hit a certain point, it's like, no, I want to be your single. I want to be friends with single you in a way, but it's kind of hard because it goes both ways, right?
But also she is knowing Carrie now as newly in a relationship, so Carrie's kind of in that personality. So like maybe if they'd been friends for not even 30 years, 3 years, even if she's been friends with both of them for 3 years, maybe. But here's my other point. Carrie would, if Seema just cut this off here, I don't think Carrie would ever reach out again. Carrie would just write this off and be a Robin Brown about it and be like, Seema doesn't want to be friends with me anymore.
Because I'm in love.
Totally. I think Carrie would easily write her off with like, and never try again. It would be like, well, I tried at the salon.
Well, guys, that was really sad. But then thank God we got this next scene because Charlotte's putting on her shapewear. She can barely move. And scene. Lorraine has called asking for Giuseppe. And Giuseppe has come back wearing his driving gloves. And this is the scene when he gets the boner.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a month's salary and a very generous bonus. I understand that, but that part, it's not. But this part, he texted him.
It's
not you. It's me. I have issues. Quali sono I tuoi issues? Look, I thought you were straight. A straight poet? Come on. I know the accent must have thrown me off my game. Anyway, straight you I could work with. Straight you I could work with because I pride myself on never crossing that line. What line? You know what line. Straight you, yes. Gay you, I cannot work side by side.
He should be the voice of
Iago.
I
know.
Was he the voice of Iago? Or do we
no, but I always think that I could do the Iago voice.
Well,
that's one voice I think I could do.
Sounding like Gilbert Gottfried, but he also does sound like Anthony. So I was like, well, maybe he could be Iago. There's that new one coming out with Blue Ivy Carter.
Wrong movie, but
Lion King.
Iago's in Aladdin.
I was thinking of the other one with Bean.
The other one is, what's his name?
Zazu.
Anyway, I want to play Zazu. Anyway.
Remember the Zazu in the one with Northwest, and the Zazu hated her so much.
He's like, let me push you to your next spot. Here's where you go, sweetie. I would hate that too. I mean, imagine being like a professional actor and that's what you get. Can you believe that was only like 6 months ago?
Yeah, but it was a fun week. That was all we had to worry about.
If only
that's what we were enraged about at that point.
All right, look, I thought you were straight. I never crossed the line. Straight you, gay you. I cannot work side by side, day after day, next to a gorgeous, sweet, hot, way too young Italian from Italy with a huge heart. Giuseppe's like, hee 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 hee. That's how they laugh in Italy. Hee hee hee
With a
hee.
huge heart. So did they zoom down on the dick at that point?
No, they didn't show the dick at all. I feel
Must
like they
have been a
cut a
joke.
line here where he
Yeah,
was
I would
like,
love to see the OG script. of
because
this.
he's like, nope, too many hot buttons. I can't hold that line, and I refuse to become a middle-aged Lorraine. I understand. Good. I quit. Now what? I'm fucked. Well, not yet. That is this
Have you
scene.
ever sung? Have you ever done that character from Assassins that's Italian? The one that Ben Medina
What is
played?
that?
It's like, you think that I care. You think that I care.
I
No
don't think I would
care.
ever be cast as an Italian in anything, but
You good with that accent, boy, and you can sing that. It's a high tenor role.
I want to. Oh, I don't remember. I literally
When he's in
couldn't
the
remember.
electric chair, he sings it from an electric chair.
Oh,
I look at the world, no chance. I look at this modern to walk by, no give, no glance. Ever since then, because of them, I have the sickness in the stomach. It's very Italian. Do you not remember that?
Weirdly, I don't.
Oh, you were at like every rehearsal for that.
I know.
Performance.
I was the one recording your when you got proposed to.
No, it was that other guy, and he was making that like noise.
Was
the whole time.
it?
Yeah, he's going like it's like cute. He was like, oh, 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 the whole time. You can see it on YouTube if you want.
All right, geez. All right. The straight thing. Now, I guess we have. I guess the show has decided they've shown enough of Anthony and Giuseppe for us to believe that Giuseppe is head over heels for Anthony.
I can buy this. I think
we haven't seen enough interaction or anything from them.
Well, other than Anthony being an asshole to him, but again,
that's what I mean. Some people like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. If you want to look at
All
my
right.
list of my dating history, I will show that.
Shar starts her new job, but as she's walking up to the job, she does the unthinkable. She takes off the belt. Oh yeah, guys, I forgot to mention that was a running thing, like that people kept being like, just take off the belt. And she's like, but the belt is so important to it. And then Harry's like, honey, just take off the belt. And she's like, the belt is the whole look. Anyway, she takes the belt off, guys. Sorry.
I am twitching so much during this because you are being so funny today for some reason.
Charlotte starts her new job, loses the belt first. Charlotte meets two art people, two like skinny. They look very arty.
Yeah.
And thank God, though. I guess the show is and I'm not saying this, I guess the show is saying that this big fatty walks in who just is the boss, and thank God. Charlotte's like, oh,
well, it's Bonnie Milligan for one.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Who just won a Tony for Kimberly Akimbo. And but okay, so I'll take the other side of this. That I think the first time I watched this, I didn't mind it because I took it in a way. I want to think this is where they were going with it, is that Charlotte saw this curvier girl, and she's wearing like a crop top, and she looks great in my opinion. I think she looks amazing. That's like my goal, is to feel comfortable. I know I could do it now and I would look fine, but like that would be my goal. But she's walking down the stairs, she looks great. She has a crop top on, her stomach is showing. So I'm hoping that maybe that's more what they were going for. That Charlotte's like, oh, you know what, she's rocking it. More of that. I guess
maybe I'll look at it as she has been having all this trepidation and worry about what it's going to be like because she hasn't done this in so many years. And so maybe her previous perception of the art world is that you had to, and maybe that was what the previous iteration of the art world was. Because this show, while it does it badly, it does try and act like the world has changed, which it has, and they introduce different ideas and different concepts. So I'm going to maybe try and give it the benefit of the doubt that Charlotte's connection was like back in the day, everyone there was, you would have to look this one kind of way. And so maybe they're saying like, oh no, you don't have to be that one thing to be successful in the art.
And also, Bonnie Milligan brings a way different energy than the first two cunts. She's
very
like
much
bubbly and stuff.
She's like, oh my god, you're the famous Charlotte. Like, so nice to meet you. Like, Charlotte is was my favorite book, so I always like when people are named Charlotte.
Everyone should check out if you care. Check out Bonnie Milligan singing anything because she's like fierce.
Yeah. Wasn't she originally, her first thing was that
Hang on, I'm gonna look her up actually.
Head Over Heels. Wasn't that where she got her first
she got like
Tony nomination?
Kind of like music theater viral for something. I think the show closed really. She's only 40. Okay, I like that. All right, Bonnie Milligan. I thought you wanted to know. I have it. Head Over Heels. Good job, Joan. And she played Pat in the first national tour of Kinky Boots.
Oh,
my friend John was in that. John was in that. He might have been in the non-equity one though. And then Kimberly Akimbo. And she was in a duet on YouTube singing Disney princess songs with Laura Osnes that went viral.
Oh God, that one bitch.
Yeah,
anyway,
Sorry, I threw you off your game there. So anyway, Charlotte's fine because there's a fatty at work. Great.
Awesome. Miranda is back at her new job, all right? And she, of course, found a mistake on the young girl's shit. And she's like, I realized you had omitted the migration stats. I'm just flagging it. I can put them back in. And the girl's like, I guess you're just perfect, oh my God.
Whoa.
I guess you're just perfect, Miranda. That slipped out. That's just been... It's been in the barrel for a while.
Surface for years.
The funny thing is, I can't imagine a situation where I'd be like, I guess you're just perfect, Amanda.
That's because I've made it pretty clear that I am not.
I can't imagine someone saying that to me either. Well, sometimes I do act holier than thou. I would just say you don't act holier than thou ever.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And this is when Miranda's like, actually, I'm a sexually confused alcoholic who's in the midst of a divorce. And the girls are like, whoa.
That describes me pretty well too. But yeah, so they're like, whoa, too much information. I feel like that would endear me to someone. If someone blurted that out to me at work, I'd be like, bestie, come sit by me.
In a way, it was the best way to disarm those girls, really.
Yeah.
Was doing that. And then we see Raina, I think her name is. Miranda, you're not allowed to be here. You could get us in a lot of trouble. And then they do I am really not in Kansas anymore. They have a strict overtime policy for interns. Blah, blah, blah. The lady's going to end up having her baby on Monday, and she's chosen Miranda to be her cover. You're starting tomorrow. And Miranda's like, oh my God, really? I just can't help but feel bad for Serena and Salone. And then the girl's like, I guess you didn't graduate Harvard first in your class or make partner by feeling bad for less experienced colleagues. Why are you making yourself small now? I'm just aware that I'm coming with
line.
Agreed. Right? And agreed. And Miranda thinks she has a lot of privilege. I appreciate your self-awareness, and that is an issue we take very seriously, but you have years experience and you're the best person for the job, full stop. Great. Who gives a shit about the other interns? Yippee, the end.
That's the end of that, yeah.
Good. Then they get to dinner with Aiden. But wait, how does the chicken get up on your son's bed? I lift her.
One bit. She did that chicken bit at brunch, the brunch crowd. Now we're bringing it back around because remember how funny that was during brunch? Let's talk about it again with Aiden.
It was really funny.
It was.
They felt like introducing the Charlotte belt joke and this one, to really recall stuff because we care. He lifts her. I'd have to. Otherwise, she keeps flying into the mattress.
I feel, here's an idiosyncrasy of mine. I feel full secondhand cringe. They do this on the first couple scenes of How I Met Your Mother's when actors do exactly what they're doing in the scene where they're trying to act homey and naturally laugh at each other.
Uh-huh.
In a crowd scene. Do you know what I mean? Like, and How I Met Your Mother in the first couple seasons, then they stopped doing that probably because it was really jarring. They'll be sitting at the bar and like they'll say funny things that is funny to the audience, but then the actors will also laugh at it, like we're being homey. And it was
Oh.
very upsetting. And they're doing that in this scene. Like they're trying to really naturally laugh at this fucking chicken story. And it was off-putting.
It was stupid and boring, and I don't care. Now we have to factor you into the whole what comes blah blah blah. Guess what? Seema comes in. Carrie, I thought you said Seema couldn't make it. Look. And then Aiden's like, hi, let me get your chair. And then Seema is doing really nice. She's being really
Also, it's so
working
awkward to be
hard.
Seema too, because clearly Carrie has probably said to, I'm sure Carrie said to Aiden, Seema doesn't like you.
I don't think Seema never said she didn't like her. She just was like,
well, I know, that's what I'm saying, is Carrie probably went right to Aiden and was like, Seema really doesn't like
Seema
you. So
hates me because
Seema's making this
I'm
late
happy.
entrance, and like now there's like this whole, everyone's watching her because everyone knows that Seema like hates Aiden.
And Seema looks like she just came from like crying and she showed up here like, Aiden, manners, I love you already.
Which was nice. It was nice to see her like do that for her friend. It probably took a lot.
Then they have a whole, they're blah, blah, blah. And just like that, that literally was it. So what are we drinking? and just like that, I went to Aiden's farm. It wasn't Howard's End. It was better.
Ugh,
it was our new. This doesn't end. This is the longest and just like that thing ever.
More after it was better?
It was our new beginning.
Oh, okay. I think I pressed the space bar before that.
You guys.
All right. Well, great episode. I mean,
we only have like a few. We only have a few more until the end, and then we get to go back to.
Well, no, then we might do the movie if we could get a fucking start date for season 3, please.
I also was on YouTube, and I just remembered this. They have an true Hollywood story, Sex and the City.
They do?
And it's free on YouTube, and I thought maybe we should cover that.
Yeah, I want to cover that next week instead of whatever's next.
Maybe we could think about that when we wrap up this season as some like little holdovers.
Do you want to know what? Okay, let me see what's next here. So next we have there's only 3 more episodes left, Joan.
And 2 of them are really like one of them are like a 2-parter.
2-part,
right?
Last Supper. So next episode is called There Goes the Neighborhood. Carrie makes a prominent real estate decision. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Carrie makes a prominent real estate decision. God. Miranda asked Charlotte if Lily would give Brady college counseling. Guess what happens? We put those 2 in a row.
They fuck.
They're gonna fuck. Elisa Todd actually tries to meet the demands of her career.
And nothing for Naya. Anyway, we love you guys so much.
Love you guys. Thanks for joining us. Join us on Wednesdays for our weekly roundup, which we're going to change the time to, right? We didn't even discuss that.
Are we? I don't know. Because every time I ask for people's feedback, we get like one person saying to change it.
5 people said noon is better, 11 or noon. Earlier. Everyone's saying earlier.
Some people said it wasn't.
Well, I would love it to be earlier, but we can discuss that off mic. Walter knows we're done. So
guys, we love you so much. Hit the subscribe, hit the like if you haven't. If you feel like leaving us only a 5-star review like Phil, could you check out and leave us a review? If you feel like leaving a 1-star, just instead what you should do, pull your hand away from your thing and go somewhere else if you're going to try and leave us a 1-star. Yeah, we love you guys so much. Check out all of our other shit and we will see you. Get on our Patreon.
Actually, you do look at this. Yes, sorry.
Patreon.com/pod in the city. We love you guys. Bye. Bye.